My name is Mr. Anderson, and you can find me at MrAnderson.com and follow all the adventures of Mr. Anderson. Today, we're going to go over the news brief, what's going on in Indy, very quickly for you guys. Brian K. Morris just got off air. He was just doing his Nevermind the Furthermore. If you didn't watch it and you're not a fan of Brian K. Morris, you better jump on it right now. And as you guys see, we just got a new like for the Advocator. What's the Advocator? That's a fantastic question. The Advocator is the most awesome of awesomest things. It is, if I can ever get it to load, for some reason my computer's got the Mondays too, or at least Facebook does. I'm having a lot of Facebook problems today. So let's see if I can get the Advocator up. So the it's the development group. So Advocator is this great anthology that's all about creators. And excuse me. So what it basically boils down to is we've got a lot of creators together who are going to be talking about their different projects, and it's going to be going to Kickstarter in just a few days. Which I can actually give you guys a preview of if I can stop sneezing for 2 seconds. All right, so let's go to Kickstarter and let's check out the Advocator. And I'll read you so you guys can give me an opinion if this is a good thing or not. All right, so let's take a view of it. Here's preview. So I'm going to read you guys the pitches. You tell me if you like it. Okay, The Advocator presents indie comic franchises shorts. The Advocator is web episodes for indie comic book franchises. Short stories giving you more of the characters you love. Come on, that's pretty cool, right? What is The Advocator? This is a collection for stories from the indie creators who have already built franchises and now give you short stories, obviously we're still editing, of the characters you have fallen in love with and even some insight not yet given about them. Plus creators you are a fan of giving new stories never before seen. Oh, plus creators that you are a fan of giving brand new stories never before seen. All right, there we go. The Advocator presents in a new way to advocate for creators by creators, sharing their stories with the world and each other. These stories will travel with all creators to all events. All the creators to all events. What does that mean? That means that the creators behind this are going to now be sharing other creators' stories in possible regions that these creators don't get to. Perfect example, in the book I'm in, Brian K. Morris is also going to be in, and he's big up in the Midwest. I'm big on the East Coast. There's not a lot of crossover last year between our schedules. We do want to try to meet up this year, coming up in 2019, but now he'll put my stuff onto that area, the Midwest. Yes, Travis, I am. I'm showing off the. Apparently, we need to edit in here a bit, though. I thought no one's gotten to that. I didn't even re-edit it today. But yeah, they'll be able to take books with them to different cons in different areas, and that also means that I bring Brian K. Morris to Florida. Brian K. Morris doesn't spend a lot of time in Florida, and it all goes with all these different creators, and it's only going to get bigger and better and even better as time goes on. It's a great way to start, and the reason it's going to get bigger and better is we're going to wind up doing bigger books that are going to wind up being a collection of we're going to figure out something of like the best of the Advocator presents or something like that. We don't know how we're going to do it yet. We're still figuring it out. It's still brand new to us, and that's okay. We're willing to learn as we go. We have a great starting point. Some great titles are going to be there. Broke Down, 4 Dead Bodies. Well, it's broke down. Scratch out the 4 dead bodies. Grimwood Crossing is going to have a story. Welcome to the Void has a story in it, and these aren't the names of the stories. These are the main titles for the stories. So that's where it's kind of confusing on the cover. And why I've told Travis that we need to kind of work on that because we have to give the name to the story inside the book, not necessarily the actual franchise it's based upon. Although it's back and forth, we're still trying to figure that out. You got Mary Revised, you got Modern Testament, which got great art in it, and Binary Star. Now, Void's got a whole new story, so maybe we could do something like a story from the Void. There you go, a Grimwood Crossing tale, a broke down a broken a broken beginning. I don't know, but you get the point. These are all different stories, all different things going on. Very exciting, and this is, of course, for this itself. These are actually on this right here. These are the stories that everything's attached to. So when we do our cover, we'll have to change it. Right here, right now, this is perfect for the Kickstarter because it does tell you where the stories are coming from. So I'm super excited about this. Some great art here to take a look at, see what's going on. That's the Broke Down. That's the Binary Star. That's the Mary Revisited. That's the Modern Testament right there. This here is the Grimwood Crossing. And of course, that is the Void. This is Welcome to the Void, Modern Testaments. And each one already here has got this set up. And it kind of shows off some stuff. And Binary Star and Broke Down, and it breaks into it. We gotta neaten some stuff up here to make like a bigger pop for certain things. I don't know, maybe I hate Kickstarter's format. There's no lines. You can't put little lines in, which I would love, because I would love to put a breaker between all these. And you can see some great creative teams. You got Martha Schwartz is going to be here with Travis Gibbons, Stephen Preston, just picking out the Broke Down. You got Connor Bartel, and I am not going to try to say that artist's name, so I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to have Travis come on and tell me how to say that name. And creator Joseph Duess and L. Nismat, I think Nismat is Interior Colors. So some great people. Some other names you might know: Frank Martin, Dan Scalise. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about ruining that name. Chuck. I think he just goes by Chuck now. Yeah, I want a breaker. Oh, can you actually code in Kickstarter? I didn't think they let you code in Kickstarter. I have to look again. Maybe they changed it since the last thing. You can put in a breaker. What I was thinking about doing, if we can't put in a breaker, Travis, and I'm sure everyone's thrilled that I'm doing this with Travis right now, is we could actually put a picture of a line. I think I did that with Fetish Babies. The first Kickstarter I did, I actually made like a line picture, and then I would put it in between the projects. So it actually looked pretty good. And I can just steal those off of creators, of Indie Advocates, because we actually have the lines. So yeah, I'll have to look at that then if you can do the code. I didn't know that they started letting code go. I had the first time I tried to do code back in 2017, they wouldn't let me mess with code. I guess I never tried to look to see if they ever changed it. So that could be exciting. And of course, you got Sean Barbour. I think I'm saying that right. And Kitty Pierce. And I lettered it, but I kind of want to remove the fact that I lettered it. Not that I'm not proud of the work, but just because we don't have the letterer written for every book. So either all the letterers have to be given credit, or no one gets the credit for the lettering. And, I don't mind. You can take my name off of this. It's not huge. I don't have that big of an ego that I need to be acknowledged for every single thing I do. Oh, you can do it? Cool. I mean, if it's too hard, Travis, we can just put in the picture. The picture works fine, too. Literally, all you do is take a picture of a line, and then you insert it right here, and it works perfectly. Oh, you can write it in and post it now? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know they were letting it go that way. That's pretty cool. I'm not going to play with it, though, because I hate coding. I am not my dyslexia and coding, I do it when I have to and avoid it like the plague. So really quick, we're just going to do some Advocator pledges for $5. You'll be able to get the Advocator Winter 29 edition. You're going to get, and of course, this is all. Okay, so Travis says he's going to leave the letter in because he's amazing. All right, cool. So I guess we're putting all letters in. So there we go. Travis made the decision. So let's see. $7 pledge will get you the digital deluxe. It'll have some variants. It has all the covers in it. It's cool, actually. It gives you a lot more than your regular digital. The $10 is going to get you the standard cover. 14. Don't count on 14 for this. I think that might be just a typo. Travis can tell me. Because remember, this isn't live yet. I believe that's supposed to be 15. And that's just a typo. Because all the other ones seem to be 15. You guys can get like different covers too, which is kind of badass. We're doing the alternate cover things. So I'm not generally a huge fan of it, but for this particular campaign, it totally makes sense to have alternate covers, because it gives the creator an opportunity to put their cover on the book when it's at the table for them and then pitch other people. So it does make a lot of sense for this one, especially. And then the Indie Superstar all covers. You get all the covers. I actually think that that's a little low, 32, man. I think that's worth like 50, 60 bucks right there. But Travis wants to give everyone a good deal, man. Travis is like, nope, give it to him. I'm greedy. I'm greedy, man. I think that it should be like 50 bucks right here. Because, I mean, you're getting all the covers. But Travis wants to be the nice guy. He's like, it's the holidays. We're going to do things nice for people. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This is a really good project. It's worth the money. He's like, no, Rob, don't be greedy. Don't be Scrooge. So I was like, all right, Travis, you know better than me. I'm gonna nod to Travis, and Travis can pick the pricing. So I'd ask for more because these stories are great. I've read them. I'm excited about this project. I'm excited just that people might associate me with this. I'm like thrilled. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm part of that. You know how like you're grouped into something. And you're like, wait, I'm not really part of that group. No, I'm totally part of this group, even if I just lettered it and promoted it. Okay, so Brian K. Morris says his artist, Eric Hawkins, great guy, does his own lettering. He's a one-stop shopping. Yeah, because Eric Hawkins also does the coloring then, right? Brian K. Morris. And Brian K. Morris is on the show. How exciting is that? I love having Brian K. Morris around. He just got off of being on a video. I'm sure he's actually happy to be typing now and having to actually read and talk. I have seen some Kickstarter projects where you can put a price for a limited time and then raise it after that deadline. It's a thought. That's not a bad idea, Travis. Brian K. Morris might hit it there. Maybe we meet each other in between. People can get this for $32 in the beginning, and after that, it's 50 bucks like I wanted. Might be something I have to think about because I'm telling you, this book is really good. Where these characters are taken is so refreshing, and it's a different point of view and all that. A lot of the guys do their own coloring. Yes, a lot do actually. I actually don't like I say get off all the time. I said Brian K. Morris says LOL Rob said get off. I try to get off all the time too. And I know people want me to get off this video now. They were like, this is supposed to be a short video. This is not short at all. I was thinking a day one special with no shipping. That's not a bad idea. I mean, sure, we could just, give away the comic book for free too, Travis. But no, kidding around aside, Travis just wants to play Santa, and I'm feeling more like the Grinch. I'm feeling more like the Grinch this year. Yes, Eric is the colorist. Eric, man, Eric's the bomb. Yeah, I like my colorists and my letterers. Well, not lettering, because I do the lettering, but my colorist and my artist to be the same person. So they, the person creating the art should know how to color it, but I do know that there's sometimes time factors that, of course, affect things. So yeah, this is exciting. This will be launching either next week, which 1 week from today would be Christmas, which I'm pushing to launch on Christmas because, again, bah humbug. I am very much in the camp that people on Christmas Day are looking to be distracted from their family. And if we have this on Kickstarter, we're giving them something to be distracted by. So I'm a thrill seeker for that. Travis wants to do the day after Christmas, which I understand that too, because, Christmas is over. Everyone can breathe. Why not get yourself something now? You've put up with all the family. You've gone through all the hell. Get yourself the gift of the Advocator. All right. So moving on from the Advocator, which is going to be soon, so stay on top of it. Now on Kickstarter, congratulations quickly to Mind to Avenge, which successfully funded this weekend, and Book of Voices, which is successfully funded. We are adding today the White Widow expanded comics, and Chuck will go over this later in the news too in a little more depth. I'm just giving you kind of a feeling for what's going on, and you guys can see these are all things being added to the site today. Kickstarters, here we go. Some quick stuff. Ground Zero by 21st Century Sandshark Studios. I want to do tomorrow. We can't do tomorrow just because, well, first off, it's a Tuesday. So Travis and me know, what's his name? He does the comics launch. Travis, what's his last name? Travis, you should just come on the damn video. If you're gonna be talking so much, why don't you just come on the video? Come join us and talk. But he said that you're supposed to launch on Mondays. That's the whole thing. But tomorrow, I don't think we could get the thing approved because we don't have a video yet. And we don't have a video, and I'm a huge fan. You need a video. Not that I can't film a video today, but you get what I mean. Tuesday is the best day of the internet. You know, I did read that. I actually have read that Tuesday is the day to do everything. Tyler James Vogel. I think I'm saying that wrong, the Vogel part, but Tyler James. I hear him always called Tyler James. That's right. Thank you, Travis. Yeah, but I did hear that Tuesday, and from my site and from everything, I'd actually have to agree. Tuesdays are usually the best day of the week for me to put anything out there. There is no coincidence that I put the Advocator on Tuesdays for that actual very reason, because Tuesday seems to have a lot of activity. When I was picking my days, I picked Tuesday for that. Wednesday was for Kickstarter talk. We used to do last rights on Tuesday, and at the beginning it worked really well, but people, I think, just how close to Kickstarter talk and Kickstarter last rights were, and we tried to put it on Thursday, and it just was a mess. We figured it out. Yeah, Tuesday is the best. And funny enough, Brian K. Morris is actually going to be switching his show to Tuesday. Clever title pending. So Brian K. Morris is going to have to tell us. I'll tell you, Kickstarter talk does really well on Wednesday, but I also think that's because we do it at the end of the day. And we might be switching back to doing it at the end of the night, because we did it for a couple times during lunch because Jax was in school and I could get away with it. But Jax is going to be off starting next week. So I'm going to put it back up to Wednesday night and see if we have more. See, it's weird. We had a lot less people show up for it in the middle of the day, but we still got the views later on. But I didn't have the same interaction. So I think the interacting works better on Wednesday. You need a link? Oh, who the hell is that? Whoever it is isn't important. I thought I could just get you on. Okay, I'm going to be switching this off. Hold on. Can I bring you? Oh, that's right. I can bring you on. That's right. I could actually. You're a smart man, Travis Gibb. I meant on the Facebook Live, but yeah, I could send you the link this way, right? All right, let's invite. You're gonna see me. No. Did you see me in my shirt? All right, let's go back to regular screens here, and let's invite. Wrong button. All right, Travis. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send it in the thing we were talking about. The group, me, you, and Chuck. And there we go. And yeah, Travis will come on, and I guess we're gonna turn this into a bit of a. This is gonna be the longest news brief ever, but screw it. Why not? You should have the link there. Okay, so just real quickly, while Travis starts to gear up, Indiegogo Sisterhood about the unraveling mysteries and mummies is still on Kickstarter, and of course we're covering that. And Johnny Phantasm Work in Progress by Patrick Thomas Parnell. That's right here. Pretty cool. And also from Time Grunts Volume 2 is in progress. Pencils and ink by Alex Sanchez. Colors by Patrick Thomas Parnell, which Parnell seems to be working with him. And it's a Caliber Comics thing. And Beast King, that's new. Beast King will be coming in January. Very cool, Shane Morrison. All right, so that's what's going on here. Trying to see if there's anything else. Okay, so for those who don't know, we've been going off this thing. Kickstarter, Your News, Con Stops, Art, and Other Go. Every Monday, you'll see me do this, where I'm telling everyone what's the deal, what we're seeing, what's going on. And basically, you're supposed to tell me what you got going on. Sell me so I could sell the world. And hopefully people are also looking at this thread. It's very hard to know how much viewership you get. Supposedly, Facebook does this, and maybe Travis would know a way to trick them into giving this. I was talking about algorithms the whole weekend, and I'd love Travis to actually come on. I think he's coming on because he knows a lot more about the website of it. And there he is. I thought I saw something flickering. There's Travis. Travis, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I was just talking about the algorithms and all that and the days stuff and how annoying Facebook is. Is there any way to trick Facebook into showing you what a post reaches without them telling you?
Not anymore. Ever since that Russian hack, they've kind of locked everything up. There used to be.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and they're making some changes to kind of get some of that stuff back, but they're not there yet. It's going to be a bit. They just need to figure everything out, and it's just going to be a while, you know.
So Tuesday is the best day to kickstart a Kickstarter now? Is that changed, or is
well,
it?
Well, Tuesday is the best day of the internet. It's not necessarily the best day to start a Kickstarter per se. Kickstarter, you need to plan a launch, right? And though I would love to do it tomorrow, I want to give our people a couple of days notice. So, you know, the earliest probably we go live is, you know, Friday. But, you know, really we should push off till Monday if we're going to do that. Well, but I think a realistic thing would be the 24th on Monday is not a bad plan, you know?
Well, either the 24th or the 25th.
Well, 25th is Christmas, so that's going to be hard.
What about Jewish people, Travis? What about Jewish people? What are they supposed to do all day?
Well, they had 8 days of presents, so they should have figured this shit out before then. But really, I'd like to go up before Christmas if we.
No, actually, I'm with you. I'm actually a fan of going up.
But I don't think, like I said, I don't think it matters when we go up. I just think we need to get, you know, this page done. You know, and I apologize on my end. You know, I know you needed me to do a quick over. I got the quick over, and I'll do one more pass on it based on the feedback that you gave me, because I don't need bios from them. All of them have done Kickstarters, so all their bios are on Kickstarter. I just need to.
You don't want to promote them inside the Kickstarter? Because for those who don't know what we were talking about, I was talking about we should put a bio section in like a full
for team leaders. You said, yeah. So I was going to grab the team leaders and throw them there.
Yeah, the team leaders only, and what we mean by team leaders, so you guys know, instead of like going out and just grabbing creators like artists, pencilers, and all that, and trying to create teams. We made it that we broke it into groups. Everyone who brought a story was in charge of the story, and they're in charge of the team by default. So there you go. Tyler James is actually with us. He said, "Is your audience ready? If yes, it's a great day to launch."
There you go.
We were just talking about him. He must have heard us talking about him, and he came over. That's so cool.
Well, we did tag him when you asked his name, so I think that's
very cool. Very cool. Welcome to the show. Yeah, we're talking.
But again, I don't think this is going to be a problem because we have so many creators attached to it. I don't think it's going to be a problem with funding. So the goal is to just get it out there when we're ready. As long as we're ready, then it's good to go, and we can send it out to our audiences. All of us have our own audiences, our own list. Most of us have taken Tyler's course, so we all have massive email lists to send it out to. And I know a lot of them, I'm on their list, and they've been talking about it for months. So we're good. You know, it'll be a surprise launch, meaning we didn't give them a date. So we may not be like the darling of Kickstarter, but funding I don't think would have a problem, and that's more important than being a darling.
Said Travis, I think a note. No, it's a price tag.
What?
He said, "Hit me with the price tag."
Who? For who?
You said Tyler James said, "Travis, hit me with a price tag." It looks like a price or a tag. Oh, he wants you to tag him. Oh, okay. I'm getting that completely.
Yeah.
One of those icon things, and I was trying to figure out what he meant by it, and it took me a minute.
I had to shut down the thing because it'll echo, so I can't see the Facebook chat.
You know, you can mute it, right?
Would you like to chat with an Alexa Prize?
Oh yeah, I probably could.
You hear Alexa in the background now? Alexa wants to be on the show.
Would you like to chat with an Alexa Prize social bot?
No, I don't want to talk to a social bot. Go away.
Okay.
My house is going to blow up now because I told Alexa to go away. All right, so you're excited about this, right?
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. So I see Tyler hit me with the tag. Yeah, that's how I got on here. Is the audience ready? Yeah, so I'm not worried about it. I'm excited about it. Whenever we're ready, I would like to go before the holidays. I think the holidays is a mistake, but you know, as soon as we're ready, we can figure out a date. We've got a little bit of work to do, not a lot. You know, things that can be settled in a couple of hours. It's just getting it done and making sure that our team's ready to go and knows what's up.
Yeah, and I think over this point now, celebrating. I think a lot of people have done their shopping. I mean, there's some last minute. There's always some last minute. But I think for the most part, people are pretty comfortable right now with where they're at. They've all got their plans. So I think by the time we hit, it'll be in that in-between where people are looking for content. I mean, I was talking about this in a recent video. Everything gets so slow between Christmas and New Year's Eve. No one drops anything exciting. but movies do really well, and I think people forget that. People are starving for something to be distracted by between it while they're feeling bad about their year and planning for their new year.
That's true.
You know, so I'm excited about this launch day because I think that this might have been a sweet spot for a Kickstarter launch that I always thought about, but I guess I just never pulled the trigger because I never had anything lined up right. The original Fetish Babies we pushed to do for Valentine's Day because it made more sense for that book to go around Valentine's Day on its last day. Now, speaking of last days, how long are we running this for? How many are we doing? 30?
Well, we thought about doing a little bit more and letting it run for the month of January. So whenever we launch until the end of January or like January 30th. So maybe a little bit more than 30, but like by a couple of days, like 5 or 6 days, whatever the days round up to.
Yeah. And okay, you've read all the books. You can't pick your story. What's your favorite? You've read all the stories, I mean. What's your favorite? You're on the spot here. What was your favorite?
It's going to be a toss-up between Chuck's Welcome to the Void, just because I really like Welcome to the Void, and I love the extra addition to it, and reusing the art I think is genius for his project. So for project-wise stuff, but the solid story and written, Grimward has a beginning, middle, end that's really good. So those are probably my top two, but Modern Testament, man, that Noah story is dope.
And Mary revised, right? Not revisited, or revised. Mary revised was really good, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty heart wrenching.
Yeah, like that was, and of course, one of these stories is gonna. Are we gonna say which story goes into the next issue? Or we're gonna leave that ambiguous.
No. You could say, because if they buy the digital deluxe, we're gonna give them all 8 pages right at the beginning.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely true. Some people will have to wait for issue 2 to see how a story ends, but anyone who gets a digital copy will instantly get to see it. So that's kind of cool when it comes to that combo pack where you get the printed and the digital. Because me and Travis were talking about this. Sometimes there's no point to the digital and the printed other than you get it early. We wanted it to be special. Like if you're getting it, it means something now. And we do have a part where it's just the printed book and not the digital, right?
No. They all include the digital. So if you buy printed, you're going to get the digital.
Okay, so maybe all right. So you're going to get to see it, but if you're, I guess, at a table, you're not going to get to see it. So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite?
Oh man, I haven't read them all, honestly, because I've been working so much on the Void that it'd be a favorite. But I did read the Mary, and I got into the binaries. To be honest with you, everything I've seen in it, I even like yours. I like because see, for those who don't know, Travis's story, and can I talk about the origin of it without ruining anything? This is what it was supposed to be with the original artist. Not that the story has drastically changed or anything, but Travis got art from back in the day and has repurposed it instead of throwing it away and given us a brand new side of the story that we might not have seen. And that is so exciting to me because it's like seeing like Han shoot, what was it, Guido, right? Or Gordo or whatever his name is. Guido. Yeah, it was like seeing that moment where you see something completely different. And of course, like, well, the 2 stories I haven't fully read yet are the Grimwood one, and that's just timing. Like, because I'm spending so much time on things, I want to finish reading that one, and Modern Testament. But I can't help but stare at the art in Modern Testament. The art was like really cool in that one. So this is like picking your favorite kid. You really can't do it publicly.
Right. But you threw me on the spot.
After I made you do it. I can't pick a favorite, Travis. I love all my children.
Right.
But no, I mean, I was saying it before you came on, like the value of this product is like, because I've never seen anyone try to attempt this. And it's not dumping everyone's issue #1 in a book. I've seen people do that where they get the first couple pages. No, you guys are getting first crack at a new story or a story that's been unpublished. And then these creators can go back and use it again. Perfect example for me, I'll be doing black and whites for the Advocator. So later I can color them for my audience later on down the road. For Chuck, I know this could now be expanded into a bigger issue later on when he combines the 2. And
I wouldn't even be surprised if it's thrown in the back of Welcome to the Void issue 1.
Yeah. And then you're going to, what are you going to do with yours?
Mine is gonna not be out again until the trade. We're gonna keep it where it's at, and we're gonna wait probably a year or so before we repurpose it to the trade.
But weren't you telling me that you were thinking about also making a Travis Gibb Presents type book?
Oh, well, I do have that. So I have parallels. So I do that every year when I do a Kickstarter. That'll probably be in the second Kickstarter. So yeah, it would probably be in parallels. I don't know. I might keep it out of that because I got a couple of other things. But yeah, I do a book called Parallels, which is my short stories. So in the first one, we had my zombie tale, we had my government body story, and we had a story called The Mirrors. We had all three of those published in that. And then for this one, I would have my Reaper story, my wife Faith story, and the Broke Down story if I decided to go that way. But it ends up being a 32-page book. So basically, when I have 32 pages worth of anthology stuff, I throw it into a little issue that's only digital.
Oh man, exciting to know how far this project. Like I was writing the little intro on how long this project had been and how everything changed over it, and even going back to the fact that we started talking about this at SuperCon in Fort Lauderdale over burgers. You know,
Yeah.
when you take the origin of something to see it come to life, it is something that is impressive, especially when you kind of watch it grow and become something. And we had like, I remember in the very beginning, even the name was like a controversial thing where people were like, oh yeah, change the name. Like it takes a lot to put these projects together. You don't realize it till you've done it, because building your own comics one thing, but then, and I think we've gotten really lucky with this, and I've got to say it, from all the people that have been on the project, we haven't dealt with a lot of egos.
No, we haven't. We've been really blessed. And the other thing that we've been super blessed with is people wanting to resubmit and do more. You know, Joseph just said, hey, can I do another 8 pages in the back half? And I didn't even respond because I was like, wow, we have so many people who want to be part of this project. Like, we're going to have to either deny people or add more pages. I mean, that's a great problem to have.
Yeah. And that's what really gets me excited about this, because this project was always supposed to be bigger than everyone. It was supposed to become its own thing. It's one of those things that hopefully can be passed on to creators when Travis is working at Marvel, because I could see Travis going the Marvel way. I think Chuck will definitely stay in Image. He'll be like an Image guy. I could see Chuck going that way. I'm aiming for DC and Indie. I want to do a Batman story, but I know Travis has got a Magneto story in him that he wants to tell.
You never touch your babies. You leave them alone. You need to leave them alone.
Well, apparently they're getting touched a lot next year as the entire past of Marvel goes to hell.
That's not a true statement. It's just a stupid Cosmic Ghost Rider story. It's just a marketing ploy. They already announced that. It's just they have a Deadpool destroys the Marvel universe. They have a Punisher destroys the Marvel universe. This is just Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's not a big deal.
You say that, but I've seen what Marvel does. I'm scared. But yeah, so you heard it here first. We're going to be going live next week. We got to do a video. We got to figure out how to do that video, and it's obviously not going to be this video.
Yeah, no, I think it should be definitely you, if possible, doing something. I think that you probably have the biggest thing. I mean, we could do what I did for Broke Down. If you want to bring up Broke Down, I can make one of those.
I can do a live video and talk about everybody. But I was also thinking about maybe having you or Chuck on, or both of you, if we can arrange it. Just a quick, like, we want it to be a minute, obviously, the one video. So, like, the main video has got to be a minute. It's got to be quick. It's got to be like, Advocator this week on Advocator. And you show all the things quickly and you get people excited. But I'd like to do a bigger, like, video, the three of us getting together and talking about the importance of this. Because I do want people to realize that this is not just an anthology. This is something different and new. This is really trying to support, and this comic book won't go out of date, because no matter when you find it this year on the road or 5 years from now, you'll always be able to track it back to the creators and see where the creators are then. So it's an exciting time to be in indie comics. And I was arguing with someone yesterday. He's like, oh, but comic book sales are down across the board. No, they're not. Indie comics is selling like it's never sold before. Indie comics is now making itself noticed thanks to Kickstarter.
Right.
So I think this is the perfect opportunity. I think it raises the quality of every creator in the book, because you're associating with great creators.
We're really blessed with the people who are doing this project, who are creators who are really, really passionate. I mean, Jamie is doing a new page every week for her comic, for webcomic, and she's done that for the last 3 years. That's not going away. As if you know my schedule, I've got tons of stuff coming out this year. Chuck has Welcome to the Void 2, I think, Welcome Void, well, issue 1 think is almost done. Frank Martin, if you haven't read his stuff, he's got novels coming out. And Modern Testament already has a trade of the first 160 pages of the story because he's got tons of little one-shots for it. And Joseph has, I think, Tyler actually did a post the other day of asking how many Kickstarters he's running next year, and he said 3. So, I mean, all these creators are doing stuff. Oh, and Connor, Grimwood Crossing has an omnibus coming out later on this year. So all these franchises are doing stuff in the coming year. And it's cool to see, you know, what they're doing in 2019, but what do they do in 2020? And it's going to be really cool 5 years from now when I put another different story in this that's not broke down. What am I working on then? What is it going to be like? What kind of story? So it's going to be cool.
And well, you have to fight to get your story in at that point, because
right.
so many creators doing it where we might only be able to get one of our stories in once a year. And
we're trying to we'll probably keep it the thing, but I think you and I have talked about this, but Chuck, myself, and Rob, our roles may change as this goes. So though I was the project manager of this particular one, that doesn't mean I'm going to be it for all of them. It's going to switch around because I want Rob to go, these are the stories that I like. These are the people who I want to pick. We don't want it just one person picking. We want it to really get it. You know, our rules are very, very simple to get you in. If you're not in the issue coming up, you'll be in an issue coming up. We kind of themeize it to make sure it makes sense story-wise when people read it.
Yeah, and like I said, I've said this many times, and I truly believe it. This is the wave of the future, and I think people will imitate and copy us, and that's a good thing. This would actually be a good thing to see copied, and I'd love to see it copied, because this isn't like a showcase book where people, again, are just throwing things in just to throw them in. Let's see what happens. No, these are original stories when they're first hitting our pages.
Yeah, I am shocked that Short Fuse or Marcel's Evolution or SCF hasn't done this yet. It's shocking to me.
Well, I mean, credit to Marcel. He does do it in the back of his book. Every book gets that smaller, or it used to get that smaller story.
Yeah.
Which would launch a book that some of them never came to be, actually.
But it's really, those aren't smaller stories. Those are like the first few pages of the book, the next book, right?
You're right, because they would become the first. That's right. Okay. Credit to you.
Yeah. But something that's exclusive that you need to get if you're a creator. I want all my Broke Down fans to buy this book because they need it to complete their Broke Down collection. This is important to them.
No,
I want the Welcome to the Void people to do that. I want the Binary Star people to do that. We want all these people to do that.
Now, would you say that it's a have to, or if they don't get it, will they still understand the story? How important is this smaller story? Is it like, no, you really do need to for better understanding?
Well, I think it depends on the stuff. For mine, you don't really need it. It's just kind of shows kind of the characteristics of Randy and Denver and how they connect. But when you talk about Chuck's Welcome to the Void, that is necessary.
Yeah, that changes. That changes
like,
the whole way you looked at the story. I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be about the creators, and that's people are going to use this platform for whatever they need to do. For Modern Testament, that guy just did a trade. It's going to probably be a long time before they get a new Modern Testament story. You're going to get one here, which is really, really cool. So though it adds to his bigger mythos, it's stuff because it's all about the rebrand. You know, in comics, it's repackaging and selling the same product. You know, that's where the profit is per se when you're talking about indie comics. In regular comics, you know, they push out 4 issues as fast as possible so they can get you the trade so they can rebrand it and kind of sell it again. It's just kind of the nature of the beast and the nature of our stuff. But by making something exclusive like we are, we're really adding that extra value to people and giving people extra value, and we're making the end results better.
And even if the creator did decide to use it at some point, they are months away from using it. This will be the place it's going to be for a long time. Like, even if Chuck decided to throw it into the end of issue number 1, he's at least 6 months away from issue number 1, and then he'll still have to print it because I know he's kickstarting it. So you're talking about the fans of this won't be able to see that for at least 9 months.
Right.
You know what I mean? Printed, sent to them, maybe digitally in 6. But now you can have it so much earlier. And when you see Chuck, especially, Chuck's got a lot of shows. Well, not a lot, but I know he's doing a good amount of shows. you're going to be able to talk about it. You know that I just said that I'm adding 4 shows potentially at Acme Comic-Con. I mean, Acme Comic Book Store that I hope to be part of. One day shows that are not going to be Comic-Cons. They're going to be indie showcases. Perfect place for this book. And I hope to have issue number 2. Because as soon as we're done with issue number 1, we're going to start talking about issue number 2.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be no rest for the wicked when it comes to this. And I basically, Travis will still continue to be the project manager on 2 just because of how it was started. But I would definitely see by issue number 3 giving Chuck the reins and see what Chuck does with it. Because I don't think Chuck's ever really gotten that position of being in control. Because even when you talk to him about creating his work, it's always been collaboration between his artists. Like he kind of lets a lot of say. He's never had that moment of trying to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting for him. I know that I should never play the main editor, but I'm good at story editing. So I could help out some creators when I take over the editor spot in that one, as long as he does the grammar, and I'll do story editing for him.
Well, and I think this is a great learning thing. One of the things that we found out about this project is everyone was scared of Chuck when they first started about the editing. They're like, what is he going to do with our story? He's just shaking grammar and making sure the story makes sense. And it's one little thing. Because the problem with this concept is I view the whole universe. So Chuck is taking it from outside of that universe and go, does this story make sense by itself? Do you need the other stuff to understand it? Because we want people to be able to have this and feel like they don't need to buy anything else if they don't want to. We want to give them complete stories. And it's hard to do in 4 pages.
That doesn't mean we don't do cliffhangers. It just means that you felt like you read something that's not just a sudden mind thought that was put on 2 pages and makes no sense. And I've seen that where people release things, and I've talked to creators. I'm like, but that page makes no sense to me as a reader. Like, it's quick, you know. I mean, your next page probably explains everything you just showed me, but doing that as the page to kind of preview for me confuses me, and you don't want to confuse your audience. It's the last thing in the world you want to do, because when a person gets confused, they generally just want to walk away.
Yeah.
So I think that Travis did a really good job as project manager, and I'm the advocator of the advocator this round. I'm going to be in charge of getting this to fun. I'm going to be putting people on cameras. Travis will be with us on the project till he goes live with Dog Days is first, right? January.
Yeah, Dog Days is first. So I'm going to be hitting up Dog Days, so I'll be doing double duty. But I have a feeling, even though Dog Days is January 2nd, I wouldn't be surprised if this is funded before I even start Dog Days.
Which would be awesome. But we will be pushing, and we don't have a lot of stretch goals planned, just basically because this isn't set up for stretch goals yet. We're not at that point. We don't want to be at that point. So if we do make extra money, guess where the extra money goes? Either issue 2 or it goes to the creators getting more copies of the book. One way or the other.
And that's why I don't know if you noticed, if you go back to that thing, I didn't add some of the things we talked about to add stretch goals.
No, I know. I saw some of them were missing, and I figured that's where they were at.
Yeah, so we'll have like some stretch goals that are full there, you know.
What did you think about Brian K. Morris about this pack over here? Given that as like a first week exclusive, anyone who doesn't show up the first week's got to pay $50 like I wanted.
I don't know about the pricing, but I think that doing something like that is really good.
Because I mean, you're giving them so much. You're giving them the digital edition. That I'm assuming the Advocator digital edition. That's the bigger one, right?
Actually, that's the smaller one, but it was supposed to be the bigger one.
Okay, so it would be the bigger one. You're going to give them the variant cover. You're going to give them for Binary Star, for Broke Down, for Grimwood, and Modern Testament, and the Advocator standard cover. 5 comic books.
Yeah.
The digital, which has got bonus stuff, including the 4 pages that no one can see yet, all for $32. It feels like a Walmart deal to me than an indie. Like, I mean, and the goal for this variant covers, in theory, even though we're selling them for $5, they should be really 10. You know, if you're selling them at your table, it should be a $10 thing. It's a variant cover. Variant covers, even 15, 20. I see variant covers at, especially some of these variant covers. I love your variant cover, man. I really liked how yours came out. Binary Star. She's just an awesome artist. It's a home.
Yeah, that Binary Star is amazing.
The Modern Testament, come on. You know, the standard edition, we still have to agree on a cover. That's still something we have to get to. But I mean, look at some of this. Look at the Modern Testament art right there.
No.
I am blown away. I can't wait to be in issue number 2 to see how we follow up. I know my book is going to be interesting, and I'm going to actually be the colorist of it. I think I'm going to do the coloring on the cover and see how I can do. So that's
Remember, we don't want to call it issue 2. It's the spring edition.
It's spring. That's right. My apologies. We're seasonal, and that's going to kind of go along with the indie showcases we're doing. So that should be an interesting timing. If we could time it just right, then it doesn't have to be the first week. But if every week that we're doing a Kickstarter for this, we're at that show, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, even so, he should consider hiring us to get some of these indie creators together and putting together a book specific for a print run for that little.
Good idea. I like that. We're gonna have to talk to him about that.
You can print 100 books for $200, $300. Everyone donates their stuff and he sells them, and it's exclusive to that show. And
yeah, the Advocator pack.
Yeah,
I like that, and it gets us. And I was saying the importance of this about being on the table was that it's going to be on your table in Florida, and of course, me and you in the same book wouldn't help each other. But we're not in the same book together, are we? No, we're not. You're with.
No, I mean you're the letterer of Welcome to the Void. But
yeah, lettering's not as big as the other parts, and I understand that it's an ancillary part, and I get that, and I'm never going to be upset about lettering being that. It's important, but it's not the major focus. If you screw it up, it's the major focus. But if you do your job right, no one notices it. You know what I mean?
Right. Sure.
But you got, let's see, Chuck's in Texas. You're in Florida. Do you know where Jamie is off the top of your head? I'm saying
Chicago, Twin Peaks area.
Yeah, so she's Midwest. Joe is in. Where's Joe?
Joe is in
I think Mississippi area.
Hold on, I can tell you in a minute.
Yeah, and then I don't know where Connor is. Yeah,
Connor is Alaska.
Okay, that's right. You were telling me. I knew it was somewhere special, and where's Frank Martin from? Do you know?
York.
New York?
Yep.
Oh wow, hometown for me. There you go. All right, you have a lot. You have the Northeast. You have the very West Coast in Alaska. You don't get much more west than that. You have the South with Travis and Chuck. Different parts of the South, though. Two of the biggest states, as a matter of fact, in the U.S. are now covered by you guys. And you have Jamie, who's in the Midwest. And, of course, in the second issue, you double down, or the spring issue, the spring issue, you're going to double down in Florida with me. You're going to have Brian K. Morris. Who else is signed up officially? Joe? I know Joe goes again for us. Did you find out where Joe's from?
I'm looking right now. You got Martha, who's also in Florida.
Martha's in Florida, but she's your colorist this time around, too.
Yep.
So we'll be in the same show.
Well, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't get it done, not just because I think her mom just passed.
Oh, yeah. My condolences go out, of course.
So if it doesn't get done, it may not be colored. So that's why I didn't even advertise it as colored, just in case.
Okay, fair enough. I think you wrote it, though, that she was the colorist.
Yeah, I did, because I like her color. I'm hoping that'll happen, but...
yeah, she's obviously going to be dealing... we got 6 weeks till we have to get to the printer. So a lot can happen in 6 weeks. A lot can happen.
Yeah. And then we've got, what's his name?
Yeah, Martha's got a story in the second book.
What's up?
Martha's got her own story, just so we're clear with the audience.
She's got her own story. And then your guy is coming, the guy who's a music producer.
Oh, my boy. All right. I know who you're talking about, Mr. White.
Yes. Harold White. He's
Mr. White.
He's gonna round you guys off, and that's issue 2. Oh, yeah. Then we've got Joseph Harrell, and he is out of Baltimore.
Is that 7 people in their spring issue?
Hold on.
It's me, Joe, new Joe, Brian K. Morris, Martha, and Harold. No, you're right. 6. There we go. I miscounted. So yeah, it's a 6. So you have Baltimore.
Yeah, so his name is John Horsley, and he does the Eisen anthologies. And that guy's kickstarted like 5 or 6 books. I mean, he's kills it. He's in like Joseph is. It looks like he's in Kentucky. KY. That's Kentucky, right?
Yes. And I thought Mississippi, Kentucky makes sense. So, I mean, we got to work on some West Coast representation in issue 3. Definitely, we're going to want to expand out to the West Coast and inside. Maybe even a foreigner for issue 3 would be cool. If we could get someone not in America.
Right. No, that would be great.
You know, and that could happen with some of the artists too, by the way, because perfect example using myself just so it's always easier to speak for yourself. For my book, CB Zane would get half of the books I got because he did the art and I'm doing all the rest. So we would split it 50-50. But if I had a letterer, because I'm going to letter my own stuff, I would give my letterer. So, you know, again, ancillary. And I'm a letterer, so I can say this and no one can get mad at me. A letterer shouldn't get as much as the writer and the artist. I'm sorry. It's not a fair share of work. It's really not. I mean, I put a lot of effort into lettering. Travis knows that I go out of my way to add things that are special. I still don't think it's as special as the art or the writing. So if I had to split it with the letterer, I would give lion's share to me, and we would split like 80% of the books between me and CB Zane, and I'd give 20% to the letterer. Now, what would you do with colorists? Like, how are you going to split it theoretically if you're a creator? I don't know if you do you have a colorist that you're splitting this with on yours? Would you be doing it with her? Like, did you guys work that out?
I would give her some. I don't know how the split would work. I'd have to figure it out. My artist, he's in Australia. I mean, I'd send him some, but I don't think he really cares that much. So he would just want some for himself. He's not doing comics anymore.
So there you go. And that's important. Yeah. I mean, if you have an artist, and I have had artists who don't care if they get a book. I've offered a couple of my artists, and they've been like, no, I don't really need many. Just send me a couple. I don't do shows.
Yeah.
And that's important. That, I mean, if your artist doesn't do shows, don't send them half the books.
Right.
You're missing your opportunity.
Well, and remember, it's I paid for the art too, so there's a value there. So, you know, it's in my particular situation, it's what I kind of do, you know. But if you don't pay or you pay less, that's a different thing.
Yeah, and
obviously Jamie's going to get 100%.
And that's all up to the teams, though. And I stress it: the team leaders are responsible for that, not Travis, the project leader, not project manager, not me, the advocator, not Chuck, the editor. So those are issues we're not part of on purpose to keep this as fair as it can be. Every person who's brought the project to life is responsible for their own project. We're not playing mommy and daddy in any aspect.
Right.
We just expect them to abide by the laws, which is basically the small little bit of contract we have, stresses that we don't take any profits from the project, and stresses the fact that all content is original, legally purchased from artists or whoever put in, and that they have their own business dealings with their creative teams.
Right.
But I think I'm going to let you go because I'm going to finish up because I got to finish that lettering for Chuck today. That's on my.
Oh, did he give you some revisions?
Yeah. I gotta finish actually my lettering job. He wanted me to make a couple changes. Nothing serious, but I took the weekend off to spend some time with little boy and hang out with him. Plus, I had the con on Saturday, so I didn't get to it this weekend. So I got to catch up.
Yeah, well, I've got my show tonight anyway, so if you're in Melbourne area, come on out. I've got the Broke Down. We're doing our kind of release party for Broke Down and Four Dead Bodies. I'm handing out all the local people. I had 25 local backers, so I'm inviting them out and handing out their stuff this week. I've got the trading cards. The trading cards came in. You should check those out. They're really, really cool.
Cool. I got to ask you about trading cards. I actually want to do trading cards later, so I'm going to talk to you more about that.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad cost-wise. So, yeah, we can figure some stuff out. But, yeah, figure it out. Talk to me. And, yeah, whenever you feel we're good, I want to send it to the team. If the team is good, we'll go live. Whenever we feel like it. Just giving them a couple of days for them to promote it.
Brian K. Moore said, that's right. Get off your ass, Rob, and get busy. Hey, man, I am busy. I am always busy doing nothing. It is hard to constantly be doing nothing. All right, Travis. I'll catch up with you later today. We're going to end the news here. Thank you all for tuning in on this brief, long news cast. We'll talk to you later. My name is Mr. Anderson. This has been a production of the Indie Advocates Network. Please subscribe to our site. Thank you, and tune in tonight for Chuck when he actually does the news and doesn't sit around and talk with his friends like I just did. Have a great day, guys. Remember to tag us, well, not tag us, but share directly to our group and or find my particular weekly Kickstarter Your News Constops art and other go post. All right, guys. Catch you later. Make sure to check in with the Indie Devil at Mr. Anderson, MrAndersin.com.